It's nice that you take care of him. That's how it ought to be.
Set in Reading, Pennsylvania, the play opens in 2008 with two men meeting their weary parole officer.
So, you gonna tell me what happened?
What?
I know you don't want to be here.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't whatever me. I'm not one of your stupid friends, let's be clear about that.
Flashback to 2000, where best friends Tracy and Cynthia work together on a grueling steel factory floor. They celebrate birthdays at the local bar, sharing dreams of stability while the union protects their livelihood. The bar serves as their sanctuary, managed by Stan, a former worker injured by a mill accident. Tensions rise when a management promotion opens up, pitting long-term friends against each other for the job. Cynthia, who is black, applies for the position, hoping to finally move off the dusty factory line. Tracy, who is white, also applies, believing her family's long history at the plant guarantees her priority. When Cynthia gets the promotion, the friendship begins to fracture under the weight of newfound workplace authority.
I bet you they wanted a minority. I'm not prejudiced, but that's how things are going these days.
Look at me, Tracy. You don't want to go down that road, but we've got too much history between us.
Rumors circulate that management plans to cut wages and move equipment to Mexico to save corporate costs. The company demands a 60% pay cut, forcing the workers to choose between poverty or striking. The union refuses the deal, leading to a lockout that leaves the community in a desperate state. Cynthia stays inside the office, becoming the face of the management that the workers now deeply despise. Oscar, the Colombian-American bar busboy, takes a job at the mill as a scab to earn money. The strikers feel betrayed by Oscar, viewing his actions as a direct threat to their collective bargaining. Alcohol and desperation fuel the fire as the characters' lives spiral into debt, homelessness, and bitter resentment.
Put my drink on my tab.
I can't. I have to run your card.
Since when? I don't have a credit card.
Sorry. Too many folks not paying.
One night at the bar, a violent confrontation erupts between the strikers and the quiet, hard-working Oscar. Stan tries to intervene in the fight, but he is accidentally struck and suffers a permanent brain injury. Chris and Jason, the sons of the main women, are arrested for their roles in the assault. The story shifts back to 2008, showing the grim aftermath of the characters' many life-altering choices. Jason and Chris are out of prison, struggling to reconcile with their pasts and their broken community. Tracy has succumbed to drug addiction, her pride destroyed by the loss of her identity and home. Cynthia is no longer in management, left with the guilt of surviving while her friends all suffered. Stan still works at the bar, though his cognitive abilities are severely limited by the tragic event.
You want me to turn on the game? Nah. I heard you guys got out.
The play ends on a somber note, highlighting the devastating impact of deindustrialization on the American spirit.
It's nice that you take care of him. That's how it ought to be.